shout out to Gertrude. Hello and welcome to this Warno 2v2 tournament game played as part of the DEF CON 2v2 tournament 2 between myself playing 9th US and Fortitude Fence playing 8th US. We're going up against tmanplays playing 6Y Soviet and Nocturna playing as 19th Czech. So we'll go through the draft. We'll go through the draft, we won't go through the decks, and then we'll get back to it. Right, so this is the draft for Game 1 of a best of 3 for the DEF CON 2 2v2 quarterfinals. We're Team 51st State Citizens, we're up against Nocturna and tmanplays. Their team is called Emotional Support and Hard Carry, I think. If you want to see the group stage games, that's here, 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 and here. So there were 4 group stage series. Five, because we did like a practice series or something. Somebody invited us to do a practice series. We only did one of those. That was anyway. So the draft for game 1. So we picked NATO because it's NATO versus Pact, unless it goes to a game 3, in which case you can pick what you want. We banned Albion, Military Base, Urban Frontlines, and Railway. Our opponents banned Hesse, Ripple, and Chandra. Don't know about Ripple, but me and Fence are infamous for playing Hesse and Chandra, so that makes sense. They picked Stoneware. Now this is actually the 3v3 cut of the map, and I forgot that basically, so Nocturna's played this map a few times. There is a 3v3 tournament game on the channel of me versus Nocturna, and yes, it's this one. It's this one where he calls me retarded. Nocturna doesn't, his teammate does. So yeah, that's on Stoneware, but it's the same cut of the map. Obviously, that's a 3v3. So I forgot that he'd played this. Otherwise, I probably would have banned that instead of, I don't know, Urban Frontlines maybe. In terms of the divisional bans, right, they're banning NATO, we're banning Pact. So they banned Erster, Div Mob, 11th US, that's a Fence div. 2nd Panzer, 2nd UK are Hippie divs, and then MNAD, Erster, and Div Mob is just, I guess, because they don't like him. In terms of our bans, we banned 9th East German, 20th East German, 20th Polish, 31 Soviet, 79 Soviet, 119 Soviet. So we're just trying to get rid of the 20th East German is really good in team games. In 1v1 it can suffer because it doesn't have any max range tanks and stuff, so it does suffer in that regard, but yeah, these are all very nice team game divs, Soviet heavy divs. But it's a 3v3 map, so we probably should have banned lighter Soviet divs like 4th Polish, 4th East German. But anyway, they went 2 heavy divs anyway, so we pick, then they pick 2, then we pick. So we picked 8th US for Fence. Nocturna and T-Man went 19th Czech and 6Y respectively. And then the final pick was 9th US for me. So let's get into the game. Right, so with that out of the way, this is the 3v3 cut of the map. It's okay, it's just the points are worth quite a lot. So the game can end quite quickly if you control all these. The 10v10 cut actually has less weight on the points. So paradoxically, the 10v10 cut is probably better for a 2v2 than the 3v3 cut. But we only realised this after the game. In terms of the draft, yeah, you've got a lot of ground to cover here, so you want lighter divs. So I figured, put Fence on 8th US. Obviously, he had input into this as well, and he can fight around here. And then I will cover, most of the map with a lighter div, 9th US, right? Because you got to put guys here, otherwise, people can come through and stuff like that. So you do have to cover a lot of ground. And yeah, our opponents just picked 2 medium tank divs, basically. So basically 2 equivalents of 8th US. So if the game goes late, they're going to have a big advantage because I can't really kill their tanks. I don't even have AT4s, but we'll get into that. But in the early game, we have the advantage because, our stuff's faster. Like, they don't have any airborne forward deployment at all. This is recon deployment. Meanwhile, we've got LRS and we've got this funny sniper guy, right? So our deployment's a bit better. Can you hear those sirens? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. So yeah, looking at the deployments, we got T-Man on the left. I guess his div is lighter than 19th Czech because of the helicopter deployed guys. I mean, there's not that much in it really, but you got to go somewhere. I did mention in the draft that Nocturna, currently called Lyre, we played a 3v3 tournament game against each other on this map, and he went here. So I forgot about that until we started playing, but I could have told Fence, hey, heads up, you're going to definitely be against Nightooth Check here. So that was silly of me. So yeah, he's doing what he's practiced, right? Which makes sense if you want to win. In terms of the deployments, so we got Motrise, Avklefler, and Spetsgrupper around here. We're not going to go through every single unit. Couple BRDM2s just to prevent flanks. I was expecting BRDM2s to come down here, but he's got it defensively. One Lustrum Jaeger Metis. I'm surprised by that, as opposed to like a BMP1 combo, because then you'd have the BMP1 and the infantry rather than whatever. The thing is, the helicopter sells faster than a car would because, you know, it can fly. So you'd get your points back faster. 80 point CV for India. And then, yeah, he's opening T80B, which is not a good idea. You want to open with the T55s because, you know, you're going to get outflanked. If you open heavy tank instead of the lighter tanks, you're going to get outflanked. So I personally would open 4 T55As at 2 vet or whatever. But he does end up getting a lot of value out of this. 3 Iglas, or 2 Iglas and a Conkers. Worried about helicopters, I suppose. Another Lufstrom Jaeger Metis for Foxtrot. And then on the right, we got the Shippers. So these are Czech recon. One of them has a ground surveillance radar, but I guess it's the other one. It's the RT Shippers. And then a big blob of T-55s, T-72s, Cubs, and so on. Switch into our deployment. We got Fence on the left here. And well, we spoke about this, and I said, look, the M150s are going to be pretty good here because you can cover a lot of ground for 40 points, you know, to stop yourself from getting flanked and stuff. Whereas the Recon Bradley, which I think he brings as well, is like 3 times the price. And I was really worried about BRDM2s coming around the sides, but they didn't do that. But that would have been a big advantage for them on this map, send all the BRDM2s around the forests. Because we can't really stop those because we don't have LAVs. This would stop it. But I don't have like LAVs or anything. Like the sniper's not going to stop it. The scouts don't have AT. So yeah, he's got a bunch of these. He gave me one as well, which is nice of him. So really useful unit for the start when you're playing on these wider maps. And then he's got M60s. So it makes sense to start with medium tanks, not heavy tanks. Although he does actually have an M1 Abrams, but not an M1A1 Abrams. Makes more sense to start with the medium tanks because, you know, at the start of the game, your AA net isn't set up and all this, right? I'm Paraguay beat Germany, lol. And I've also got M60s. I don't actually get any heavier tanks. So it's you know, it's not a choice for me. I open with the snipers because I will get to Juliet before him. We were a little worried about like an AA rush because they get the urns. They get like 2 sets of the urns, so we were worried about an urn rush, not an AA rush, but we were worried about a helo rush with like MiG-21 Bisses and the urns. They could just take all the ground at the start. So I've got the Avenger and the Stinger, and Fence has, you know, Stinger, like 3 Stingers and an Eyehawk. So we were worried about that. But these Joe things would actually kill an urn because the gun is pretty good. I think. Although the urn's got more damage. It's got more pen, hasn't it? Because the autocannon's better. Well, who knows? So snipers, like, you know, so this could get to here, right? Because I've got it's airborne forward deployed and it goes at 120, whereas his is recon deployed and goes at 90. But I don't want to get it too close because I thought I'd get hit by an urn. And also, you know, 2-man team in here, you know, he just has to get to the building next to it and just kill it. So sniper here, and so on and so on and so on. Let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get videos early, they get members exclusive videos. We'll join at the lowest levels with 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. They're the reason the channel exists. Ad revenue on YouTube's frankly terrible. They don't disclose the kind of the cut, so they've basically just been taking more and more of the cut, presumably. I mean, nobody can prove anything because they don't disclose anything. Anyway, so I've got the Joes here because I was expecting BRDM2s to come down here, and I figured this could kill a BRDM2 with the rotary gun. It's the same gun that's on a Cobra, so it's a decent gun at killing something like that. If he gets really lucky with the KPVT salvo, it will just kill it, but that would be quite lucky. I've got the Fault as well for the ground surveillance radar, and this goes up. It's recon deploy, but goes at 120. See, his is recon deploy and goes at 100. You see, I do get there first, but he can kill this quite easily. So maybe that was a mistake, and I should have been a bit less greedy and gone here or something. So we've got the sniper, right, and I'm not really stopping him from getting in, because we were very worried about... here, I mean. Because we were very worried about the urn rush. So that was a mistake. I should have expected that there would be some AA showing up sooner or later. And yeah, all this zones are capping. I've got Juliet and Fence as Delta for now, but you know, we've got about half of it here. This is going to be a bit of a slugging match, and this is a bit more just because we have more ground to cover. And it comes down to this point about the T80. If this was 3 T55s, he would take this zone. He could just run at me. What the hell could I do about that? Don't have anything there that can do anything. You know, the Dragon wouldn't kill even one of them, but because it's a T80, because if he runs a T80 down here, I buy a cluster bomber and I kill it. So it's a mistake to open heavy tank in most cases. So, yeah, I bought an Eagle first tick because I was worried about the urn rush and like the MiG-21 BIS clusters. Like, I don't have good AA, right? Anyway, he saw the sniper unload and he came and killed that, which was smart because this is a really good unit. So only 200 points worth of kills until he's paid for himself. And his CV is in here first because I was just a bit slow with the unloading, but I've got Juliet because the T80 can't attack here because it would die. It would get sniped. Whereas if it was 3 T55s, let's say I bought the cluster bomber, well, unless he blobs them and I kill them all, the other two are still going to take the zone. So it's you really don't want to be opening heavy tanks. But yeah, I do have an issue here, which is that I don't actually have AT4s in this whole division, which is a bit of an issue. So yeah, in the meantime, Nocturna's got in here, but the idea was that we would try and take this. So Fence is trying to prioritize, because I can see everything. Because this guy just disappeared, and if the BRM1K was here, I guess it could see it, but it's not. And so I'm trying to squeeze him out of here, because, you know, I see the heavy tank, and I'm pretty sure I see this as well. Now, the big advantage of this is that, obviously, well, I mean, it missed because it was moving and the cohesion and everything, but it would beat one M60. It probably won't beat two M60s. So the M60A3 is possibly the most cost-effective tank in the game. Actually, it just is. Because in terms of, like, the stats it gets, so like 12 armor is a very important breakpoint because it means you don't die to TOW2s. So there's only one ATGM in the game that can kill you in one hit, excluding like planes and stuff. And that's the Eric's missile on 11E, which is not that popular. So yeah, we could kill the infantry, but obviously as the game goes on, he's going to buy more and more T80s, and we can't kill the T80s. So it does make sense for him to eventually move into T80s. We've got the coffin launcher. If you're not aware, this is an M60 chassis with some mine-clearing devices on it. The idea is indirect fire on infantry. But yeah, you see, I mean, we both just missed, I guess, but interesting. I wanted him to hit me so I could see the damage. It's like we both missed. But yeah, the T-80s will eventually kill me. And I know that I can't use helicopters because the Igla's killed my recon helo. And I can't use a jet because he'll probably have Bucks back here. And he does. The Buck is the best ground-based AA piece in the game because it's got 6,000 meters range. Patriots aren't in the game, unfortunately. But yeah, I can't really kill these T-80s, but I can kill the infantry when it gets close. He's got the urn up here. We do have a Stinger. It's not really in position. So what I should be doing at this point, really, because I've got the smoke mortar, which I bought for this, is smoke this up and run across this field and kill this guy. But without AT4s, it's actually, like, it's actually hard to kill him. So, there you go, he does 7 damage to me, and I didn't hit him, but it wouldn't have been 7, I can tell you that much, so... And yeah, once you use these Blackhawks, you shouldn't sell them. You should use them for scouting. If you sell them, it's just because it's got ECM, so it scouts that Igla, right, which is going to keep something like this alive. So you see, Fence is mainly pushing here. Like we've lost this, but we own Juliet, so it's all good. And they're buying Arty, like heavy Arty, and so I buy the M270 cluster, which is very, very good. But sadly, he moves. He interrupts the volley, so he can move. Because he's only fired 4 out of 6 there, so he is worried about counter battery. There are no bad players, and once you get to this stage in the tournament, quarterfinals, there are no bad teams, so... In terms of the ranked, Fence doesn't really play ranked, but yeah, he just dove that Kiowa Warrior, and it's worth it for him because this is 4 per card, and the Kiowa Warrior is like 2 per card, so it's definitely worth it. Yeah, so I can kill his infantry, I just can't get back here. And yeah, I bought this for the counter battery, but also for the... But yeah, I fire 4 because it only has to hit him once directly to kill him, but it's not going to hit him because he fired and he moved, so it's not going to hit him. And I'm worried about getting counter battered as well. But yeah, it's also useful for clearing this out. So incidentally, is why this is here, so... I didn't know exactly which building he was in. Thankfully, he obliges me and walks into the building I'm aiming at. Obviously, he didn't know. I don't actually kill him, though. The Blackhawk did die. And yeah, I've just got him on return fire so he doesn't shoot. So they're trying to get in here, but I've got a TOW 2 here. And I also have the Cook V, which fires Hellfires from the ground. The missile's very fast, which is what makes it effective. It's like a super speedy Milan 2. Oh, the main thing's the range. It's the only NATO ground-based anti-tank that goes 2,800 meters. Pact's got loads of them, but this is the only NATO one. And it's the best one in the game. Because the Pact ones don't have as much AP. But it only comes on this division. It's on a chassis that gets blown up in one hit, so you got to be very careful with it. So yeah, some more positional fighting. I'm trying to get back here, but I can't cross the Great Divide, and the grenade launchers will kill me. I should have had more people in here, because I've got people, they're just not in the right places. But yeah, we had the VADs, and that will lose the BMP one, no doubt. But yeah, look at this, so you fire, and then you make sure you move, because that's a priority artillery target. He does have better artillery. Well, the M270 cluster is really good. The Jiatsin is better against infantry. So the TOW 2 was here when it shot, and I made sure I moved it after it fired. So I've got a CV next to this and the supply and everything, and I know it's around here somewhere, because I can see everything else, so where else is it going to be? So, we don't get it because he moves. We get the supply and we get the infantry, but we don't get the one we want. And yeah, I'm having serious problems killing these, because... Well, how do I kill it? My tanks don't do anything to it. Thankfully I'm surviving here. And yeah, they never clocked that this was here. I think if this shippers had been in this building, you would have seen it. If this BRM-1K had been in this building, you would have seen it. But yeah, we got Fence hitting this as well. Over on this side, not much is happening here. Basically, both players are fighting for this. We're on a +2 because I forced him out of the zone. Like, that's it, because this is taken by this. This is even, and then this is owned by us. So it's not really a proper +2, it's just as soon as he drives that back in, it's not +2 anymore. This is, like I say, it's a nice gun. He doesn't have Shorad, and the coffin launchers are, you know, it's really good in the town. Like, it makes sense to pick 9th US here. The only issue is if it goes late, I can't kill the tanks. Well, I already can't kill the tanks. It's been 10 minutes. Over here, you know, Fence is making ground. The Rangers are moving up. He's got an Abrams on this side now. But yeah, you see that the Dragon 2s, even if it hits him, it's going to do, like, yeah, 1 damage, so it is hard. But he can't really push here because he gets in there and then a flash kills him and the grenade launcher kills him and the coffin launcher kills him. So he's got a problem against my infantry and I've got a problem against his armor. And you can see naturally just... So yeah, I'm sending this forward to just see what's up. So sadly, this only had one bullet left. Which is a big shit because if you fire it, if you interrupt the shooting, it will... eventually, like, it'll add up to 12 and then it'll do the full reload, if that makes sense. Unless you wait 144 seconds between shots. So, there you go. Fence got in here, and he was helped by the Cook V that was here. That helped shoot some things, that's what that ping was for, and the TOW too. So I did help, but the main help was the recon, the fact that he could see everything is really, really useful. So now it's even here, because, you know, Nocturna's got this zone, Fence has this zone. But over here, because I've got Juliet and this is equalised, you know, it's a +2. So we're doing well. And it just goes down to the... their draft didn't make sense for this map. If it was like 2 Lakes Duel or something, it'd make a lot of sense, you know, narrow map, two heavy divs. But 2 heavy divs on a 3v3 map is... you're going to have problems with just not being able to be everywhere. And this is, you know, he couldn't be here if he wanted to be here, so... That's just how it goes. But he was aiming to rectify that situation. He's bought a bunch of Iglas. He's actually... Because as the game goes on, the whole map basically fills up because units don't die as fast as you can buy them. Depending on the game, right? The Zenista are completely broken. We'll get back to that. So, yeah. The Iglas chime in. I think only 2 of them fired. 3 of them fired. So the TOW 2, yeah, I just can't really kill this tank. Because I need very long sight lines for the ATGMs. And if we're in tank gun range, he's going to kill me. And around here, you know, there's a lot of cover and stuff. So it is very hard for me to kill these tanks. So yeah, as the map fills up, my pick gets worse and worse. Look, it doesn't even shoot back. It just says holding fire because it can't fire. So that's why the TOW Cobra was there. That's why the TOW 2s are there. But see, as the map goes on, the heavy tanks become more and more of a good idea. Because the map fills up. So, we got this. Fence uses the artillery on the Zenista. The Zenista are broken because SMGs used to be crap, so they made the unit really cheap and really available. So I fire 4 against, I'm worried about counter battery. Also, you know, with that dispersion, like, there's a chance I'll kill him with 4. If I should have kept shooting, I would have killed him, actually. Should have fired 6 instead of 4. I was just super worried about getting counter batteried. And yeah, I'm trying to keep this alive. Sadly, you can see that with this. So I thought I was being clever hiding it where I was hiding it. But yeah, with it being a tank CV and me having the cluster MLRS, all I gotta do is just keep forcing that out of the zone, right? But yeah, this was a mistake. I just cannot kill this tank. Sooner or later I'm gonna have to buy a plane, basically. And I get good planes. It's just the buck. Very hard to deal with. So yeah, he's trying to counter battery me, so if I'd fired more than 4, I probably would have died. So, it's a good job I only fired 4. The prams are kind of broken. It's very strange. They've got mortar HE, but like a name time and stuff, but howitzer range. They only come on this div, so it's supposed to be like a cool thing for this div, but yeah, it's very oppressive. It's actually destroying the buildings. It's interesting. I guess Fence should move, But yeah, I kept trying to counter battery with my MLRS, but, you know, he's moving, like, he has a brain, so... Anyway, so I never reinforced this. Okay, I put 1 extra unit there. Like, when he started attacking here, I was like, oh, he might come for this, and that's when I started buying stuff, but by then it's sort of too late, right? So, he's pre-firing where the sniper used to be. This is not going to hit that. So that was a waste. And yeah, I'm going to get forced out because I don't have good close-range infantry AT. It's very strange, actually. I think probably makes sense from like a balance perspective. This should kill both those. It definitely makes sense from a balance perspective, but from a realism perspective, it's very strange that the 9th US Infantry Division wouldn't have a single AT4 in the whole division. So my choices are the Law, which is trash, and the Dragon 2, which is it's decent, but if a tank drives up to you, the Dragon 2 doesn't do anything, so it's going to fire once and then it's going to reload. Whereas the AT4, you know, bam, 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 probably doesn't kill it either, but it suppresses the crap out of it if you get side shots and stuff. So this is a pretty unfortunate situation. So yeah, I got to keep moving, right? Otherwise, I'm going to die. And T-Man's not moving his arty, but Nocturna is, so... But when I press automatic counter battery, it just shoots at whatever's shooting first, so I obviously don't know what's going on back there. So my CV gets killed, my light rifle's dragon get killed, and he's going to take this zone back, basically. In the meantime, I'm like, okay, well, if he's doing that, then he can't have that much here. Let's try and get in here. I wasn't using the mortar, which is very silly of me. Fence has some. Over here, things are actually happening. So he's got a bunch of CVs, Abrams, and he's smoking his way in, but surely if you've got tanks, you don't want to smoke there, because then you can't use the tank. I'm not sure. So, yeah, you see the power of the M72 Law there. Kills one BMP. So yeah, this was a big shame. So I start reinforcing here to make sure he doesn't go any further. In the meantime, Fence has got back in this zone. So the MiG-21 BIS Clus come out, and these are really good units, and that's why I had the Eagle. And he gets an M60 and a Cook V. The Eagle, I didn't... It was like it's refueled and I hadn't left it on combat air patrol, so sadly... Oh no, this one didn't drop. He's going for the sniper, which is a good idea, frankly. But yeah, my Eagle control was very weak, but Stinger, Avenger, Stinger... I think it was Fences at iHawk probably got that. And it's like, this is a very expensive plane because it one-shots any tank, basically. So for him to be using it on these things is not very useful. And then I don't know, I don't know what he was doing there. It's not looking. So I get him with the Eagle. So we've killed 3 MiG-21 BIS clusters in like a minute, which is very, very good news. I think we got 3. Anyway, so I start smoking this so I can run across, and even though it's just dragons and stuff, I figure if I'm stood there, I'll shoot him a bit, and you know, the RT can finish him off. And I'm doing that because he took this. This is still alive for some reason. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm like, okay, well, look, I've got all the helicopters. I can use the Blackhawks to scout. I've got the Eagle up. So why don't I see what's over here? And the answer was, not much. Not much. And I've got Blackhawk infantry, the light rifles dragon. So I'm just like, well, I've got the Eagles. So I've got everything I need. There's nothing here. A couple of BRDMs and a Lufthansa So, yeah, he takes this, I take that. And in the meantime, I'm smoking over here to try and get to this T-64. Like I said, we do have infantry AT problems, especially in this situation. A Dragon 2 won't fire because of the minimum range. Oh, yeah, the CV used to be there, but he moved it. So that was like a big waste of like a whole volley. In the meantime, Fence is winning. He does lose that AT4, but he has taken this zone. So yeah, there's an Easty 35 points for 8 SMGs. Used to be, he's lost his cohesion there because the transporter got hit by AT. And they have a better availability curve. It's like 10.75, so you can bring him at 2-vet and still get 5. So at the time it made sense, but now that SMGs are good, it's kind of broken. So yeah, we smoked our way in here, but we don't, once again, we just basically can't kill it. So he sends the urns, but they die in 1 hit to the Stinger, which isn't really in position, so... So yeah, I'm in here, and that's good news. And his div's kind of... Well, I suppose he could send a bunch of urns and MI8s, but I've got the Eagle, so he can't really send helicopters, so he has to send ground units, and this is very far away. In the meantime, you know, Nocturna's got back in here. Those prams are pretty lethal, man. So yeah, 180, 1 flash. Like, the flash is really good. Yeah. So the Stinger killing the urns. These guys will probably get pushed out simply because the tanks and stuff. I mean, I guess I could hide right behind this building. I think that ends up being the plan. What's this going on? Oh yeah, so I could... I fence spotted the CV or something, so he was artying it, and I contributed the cluster, I think. Well, yeah, together we obviously got it. And so yeah, this thing here, right? He didn't cover it. Like, he never killed this guy, so it's kind of weird. Sadly, this only has like 2 HP, so I think it just gets killed by small arms fire. So that was silly. It's Dudley off, you know, Harry Potter. So I don't know if this is... Oh, this is me shooting smoke at him, so his tanks can't shoot me. And the Jiatsits are still wrecking face. These are the big 21 bis AA I spoke about, but I'm faster, so as long as I just run away, he shouldn't be able to catch me. But the evac was the wrong way. So he does actually kill me there, which is... I mean, I suppose that's... It's just because it's one rack of missiles, they don't fire them that fast. I've got 40% ECM. So there was a decent chance of me surviving there, but I think that's probably what you would expect to happen, especially with the guns, because the guns were chiming in. And yeah, he didn't really have anything here, because it just comes down to these heavy tanks. They take up so much cost that you can't cover all your bases. So that's why you need things like the T-55 and the... Well, in this day it'd be the T-55. But generally, I just don't think 6Y and 19th Czech were good picks. So yeah, Hot Cobra, like... I didn't realise how much was actually in here. So he gets in this corner, but as long as I have this, this corner thing isn't going to work. It's a pretty good counter to that. And yeah, Fence has 109s, and they're not as good as the Jiatsins or the Danas, right? They have... is it better? The Tubar is definitely better, but they don't have the M270 cluster, so it's about even. So he does actually just push me out with artillery, which is pretty funny, actually, pretty embarrassing. I would get pushed out. Well, I suppose the heavy tanks, I wouldn't be able to kill those. It's basically just the same thing again, isn't it, as before? Where I just can't kill the heavy tanks without a plane. The book, I don't know how I must have sent a seed missile out for that or something. Anyway, he's not moving his arty. So we eventually get him. And I start buying the... Because I'm like, these are out here. So if the book's like back here somewhere, I should be able to kill this without dying. And I was right. I was right. But yeah, I probably should have come out this way. But if I come in this way, no, the book would shoot me as I'm entering. So I have to go this way. But then that exposes me to the books upon leaving. Although only one of them fired. I guess this was like low cohesion, couldn't aim. So yeah, that's his fourth and final MiG-21 bis cluster. And he's using them to kill 130-point tanks. He does get the Eagle though, which is a big problem. But yeah, the books are shooting the other Eagle, and that leaves me space to kill the tank CV. And the MiG-21 bis were obviously shooting the Eagles and so on, so... And then the cluster dies anyway because of this gun. Was that worth it? In terms of points, it was worth it. In terms of, we're on a +6 now, it was worth it. But in a long game, he will have more tanks than I have cluster planes, so it was not worth it. And I lost an Eagle. But I don't know how else I could have killed that, given what is here, right? The Iglas and so on. I don't know how else I could have killed that, really. So, I kind of had to do it. I could have used the M270, but he would just move around, right? Oh, that didn't die! Wow, okay. Guess I'm bad. Yeah, so now I'm coming back in over here again. Black Hawk to scout. He's got some Tunguskas up now. It's not just Buck Igler, he's got the Tunguskas. But yeah, we're on a +6. And, you know, they do play it out till the end, basically, but they try attacking here. Doesn't really work because of the Cook V, and that was Fence's M150. Sends some helicopters as well, I think. And on this side, it's basically just even Stevens. The Prams are really messing them up, actually, but... And, yeah. So that was game 1. It's a best of 3, so if we win the next one, then it's a best of 2. And, if we don't, then it's the best of 3. So yeah, this is a very, very high ranked game. So Fence, he doesn't really play ranked, but he's better than me, and I'm ranked 13. T-Man is ranked 10, and Nocturna is ranked 16. So very high ranks. And yeah, I think it was just a draft thing. Anyway, I'll show you game 2, and that'll be linked in the description. Members get early, etc., etc. You can just wait. And that will be another draft thing.